welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori and I'm the face behind Entre Tejidos Crochet and Lori's Crafty Corner, where we talk about crochet, scrapbooking, and everything in between. Today is one of those days where we are going to make some scrapbook layouts. These are going to be in fast forward, but I will talk over them on like what am I doing, my thought process behind everything. And though the pictures for these particular layouts are crochet related in some way, because I'm either featuring a plushie I made or like when I took a couple of photos with this hat that I made, I will be featuring some other layouts for other memories, other moments in my life. But please comment down below if you like these sorts of videos intermixed with the regular like crochet, here's my yarn thing. Now, this is going to be a pretty lengthy video because I have quite a bit of footage, but hopefully it'll tide you over until I'm done with caking up my entire yarn collection. That's been in the background. I've been working on it since I think it's been a week now. And regular mom life, things I have to do around the house, plus pattern tests and those sorts of things. That's why it's been a long process, or at least a lengthy process to cake up my yarn, because I'm doing a whole lot of other things and I think we all know what that's like. So yeah, we are now going to go into fast forward, but first let me show you so you can get an idea of what to expect. So I'm going to show you how I did this layout. It has two 4x4 pictures, or at least slightly smaller than a 4x4. And the next one is this one. And this one has a full 6x4 picture and the others are 4x4. Why is that important? Well, because sometimes I tend to document smaller photos, and I will document some smaller photos, but I wanted to test myself and feature a bit of like bigger pictures or photos. So now we are officially going into fast forward and I'll see you at the end. So these are the pictures that I plan on documenting. They are 2 different days. For one, for both of them, I have 4 different photos, or at least poses. And I'm using the Simple Stories Crafty Things collection as my main collection, but I do bring in some other elements from other patterns. I'm still in crochet mode, from other scrapbook collections. So for some reason, this black patterned paper with the paintbrush, well, the floral paintbrush, kind of was like, use me. It was taunting me. And so I decided to go with this one. I still have most of my mixed media pods in like hidden somewhere, so I can't go too crazy with mixed media, but that's okay. So since the background is black, I'm going to I'm going to lift these pictures off by matting them with some of this like plaid or like grid yellow paper. And so what this does is that it lifts the pictures off of the layout. I'm also going to bring in this light teal patterned paper. As you'll see, I will be adding some of the foam tape behind that squishy tape behind it in order to lift it. I just use craft foam, which you can get at Walmart. I thought that since the photos, if you look at it, anchor, which is the octopus that I made, is on like the pinks and purple side. I thought about using just like yellows and teals in the patterns, in the patterned paper, so that it these pictures pop up. Because ideally, yes, we scrapbook so that we have pretty paper to show off, but we also have these, um, we have to document. So this is the only like mixed media that I'm going to add in this time around, and these are just splashes of uh, gold. If I'm not mistaken, it's Mary by Shimmer's Paints. And this is the craft foam that I was talking about, and I'm adding it to both of the pictures. There we go. Add some glue. Yes, we do get messy here. In other layouts, I do get pretty messy when I bring out all of my mixed media and just go crazy on the patterned paper. Now comes the fun part. I am going to add a lot of embellishments, which is just, I would say it's my style. I love adding different sizes, different um, elements of these. Gosh, I'm at a loss for like scrapbook related terms, but you get the idea. I'm bringing in um, this little packet of bits and pieces with which are all different colored flowers, and I'm going to add some dimension to the paintbrush by adding some flowers on top of them, on top of the flowers that are already there, with again with some craft foam. And where the pictures are, I'm gonna have flowers peeking out here and there because I'm all about layering um, within the layout so that not everything's like tacked down flat on top of each other. It's just, it's more meaningful that way. So this does take me quite a bit because I do play around with the sizes of the flowers. I want to have some small ones, medium ones. I want to have a bit more of like those leafy branches. And once I'm sort of happy with it, I go ahead and start to bring in the other sorts of embellishments, which, if you've already seen my Instagram post, you'll see that this collection called Crafty Things by Simple Stories, it actually has it has the best of all the crafty world. So it has elements that are more towards like sewing. It does have yarn, scrapbook related items, just different overall hobbies, artsy things, and so on and so forth. Again, just everything that encompasses being crafty. And that's what called to me because I was like, wait, I can scrapbook and document crochet items as well. Not only the overall theme, but also the colors. These like fun pastel, like bright pastel. I know it's like a contradiction, but bright pastel colors are just so cute, so adorable, and I love them. So right now, again, I'm adding like little bits and bobs here. I added some yarn, some buttons, and I'm adding some other little stickers because again, I like adding different things. So I have chipboard stickers, I have foam stickers, I'm adding bits and pieces, which is just, little cardstock pieces. Now I'm adding some enamel dots in between just to fill up the whole thing. And then afterwards, what I do is I grab my gold gel pen and I believe a hot pink one, and I'm just doing little doodles. At first, I started just adding little dots, but then I got crazy and added little like crosses throughout just to fill up the space. And then in terms of journaling, I actually used like the bare part of the paintbrush to add my journaling, which just consists of, a couple of phrases and words that, talk about the layout and the overall date of when the picture was taken. Here I am adding more doodles because I just went crazy with the doodles. And for close-ups, head to the back of the, not to the back, head to the end of the video. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we're going to document these three pictures. One of them is going to be 4x6 and the other two are going to be 4x4. And I'm going to use this like watercolory, almost like watercolor clouds paper, which is from the Paige Evans. I don't recall the name, but it's one of Paige Evans' most recent patterns. And the reason that I wanted to use this paper is because I wanted to have more like a whimsy theme to it. And since my pictures are on the light side, because I'm wearing a pink blouse and like a light mauve hat, I'm going to darken, quote unquote, darken it by adding a layer of the black texty paper. But first, I'm matting my pictures on this like paint by color paper from the Crafty Things collection. And while those finish drying, I am going to distress the edges. What this does is just to add bit of um, a little bit of like, again, I'm at a loss for words. It just adds a little bit of roughness. Um, and also, since when it frays, it just gets a bit bumpier, it just adds to the overall texture of the layout. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually gluing down my pictures. Each of them has been popped up on craft foam, and I'm actually going to stagger them. They're not going to be placed like in a line one after the other. I'm just going to put the bigger photo on the right hand side and the other two sort of as in a diagonal. And the reason that I purposely put the one where I'm looking off to the side on the right side is so that I am quote unquote looking off towards something. Um, It's also why the one in the middle is actually the photo where I'm looking down, and the one on the left-hand side is kind of, I'm looking straight at the camera, but at the same time, my face is tilted towards the right. So I'm telling you, there's a method to my madness. So yeah, but it's a good kind of madness, a good crafty madness. I'm now looking through the patterned paper so that I can fussy cut out some of the different elements to add to this. And I am going to add, most of the embellishments are going to be placed towards the top of the layout since I already placed my photos towards the bottom. So in order to balance things out, that's what I'm going to do. So I put that little texty phrase at the top, which says, make pretty things. And now I'm adding just some of the flowers, the little icons that I cut out. I'm also distressing them, and I'm going to layer them throughout the entire layout. I'm going to use the word pretty as part of my title because I did feel pretty when I took these pictures. And I'm also using the So Creative text. But I don't have, this is where I go like, what am I going to do here? Because I do want to add like So Creative and pretty, but the ampersand in the collections was just too big for what I was looking for. So what I did is I went into the paper, the pretty paper, and cut out the word and from like this journaling card that said, was it bits and pieces or something like that? So I cut the word out. I'm going to put it on some craft foam as well. So now we have the title. I went ahead and wrote down my journaling for this memory, again, with the date and more or less, how I felt, anything that I like to add to it. This tag is going to actually get something really, at least I think it's cute, where I'm going to use the yarn that's left over from the hat I made, the one in the picture, and I'm actually going to crochet a small chain that'll serve as like the little frill for the tag. I thought about doing something more like a single crochet sort of like strand, but it was going to be too bulky. So I undid it and just went with like a regular chain. I believe I chained like 30, if I'm not mistaken. And then I added it there. I'm also going to tack the strands down a bit. And it's so cute that it kind of reminds me of lavender, which just happens to be my favorite flower. So, yeah. I just like adding these little cutesy things to my layouts. Um, Now comes the fun part where I'm adding a lot of stickers, a lot of chipboard stickers, which are like the heavier um, stickers. I'm also adding foam stickers or thickers, they're actually called, flowers, bits and pieces, different things to make the layout prettier. And again, I'm trying to fill out the different areas. So the main part of the embellishments is going to be at the top of the photos and towards the bottom where the journaling card is, that's another mini cluster. And then as I was trying to finish it, I noticed that there's like this blank space under the photos. So I just added a little bit of flowers, which I actually believe I cut in half to, to make my supplies last longer. So I added that embellishment cluster towards the bottom, and I'm going to fill in the little gaps with some Nuvo drops in gold. You'll see me pull them out in just a bit. And now I'm just drawing X's and like little dots to fill out everything. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just liked adding that. Now here are the Nuvo drops. They just add the little golden sparkle. Now stay tuned because you'll have the close-ups coming up. As always, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back soon in another process video or another crochet video. Please consider subscribing, liking this video, turning on all notifications. I'm trying to upload at least once a week. And yeah, if this is something that you like, please let me know in the comments down below. Coming down the pipeline, we have a turtle pattern roundup. We have a Get It Made challenge where I picked, well, I didn't pick, but I'm going to make 3 plushies made from what the winner wheel picked. And I'm also in the middle of caking up my entire yarn stash. So those are all, at least I think, some pretty interesting videos that are coming up. As always, have a great crafty day, and I'll see you back soon in another video. Bye, everyone!